Good. So now we've got the data here, and what we want to do is that we want to find the mean. We want to find the mean of this data, and perhaps we will also go a bit further to find the mode of this grouped data and the what is it called, the median of this data. So once you've got this one, now let's look for the upper boundary, so the lower and upper boundary. So let's say that this is the lower class boundary, and here will be the upper class boundary. Do you see what I mean? And then we want to use the computer to here, sorry, the Excel, to separate this data here. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to separate this data here into lower and upper class boundaries. I put limit here, which is not bad anyway. So what I'm going to do, as I've been doing since we started this statistics, is that I'm going to copy this data here. Okay, so I'll copy and put it here. Okay, I'll copy, put it here. And what we are going to do next is, we are going to separate this data here, the data here, so that the lower class boundary will be under this column here, and then the upper class boundary will be here. The lower class boundaries are the 20.5, 20.0, 21, sorry, 21.0, 21.5, 22, 20.5, 23. So what we are going to do is select this data here, okay? Select the data here and go to data, and here can you see text to columns? Text to column. Click on, select the data icon and go to text to column. Are you there? Okay, so select that one and click next, and select the order here, and see, once you select order, your cursor comes into this box. Press the minus sign on your computer, and you see it separates the data for you. Can you see it here? It has separated it for you. So either you click finish or next, it's just the same, and it does it nicely for you. It's just separated the data nicely for you. Okay, what we are going to do is that let's put another heading here and say that is midpoint. Do you see what I mean? That is midpoint. So, or the mid class, you can make it mid class. The reason we want to find a mid class is that we want to find average or mean of a group data. And for that matter, you see this data here. They occurred how many times? 3 times. So if we want to find the whole sum and divide by the frequency, we can't be able to multiply 3 by the whole. Which of them should we multiply? Should we multiply 3 by 20.5 or 20.9? No, that's why we have to find what? The average of what? This, all the data sets here, this grouped data here. So let's put the mid class. The mid class is the average of what? The class we have set up. We've got classes here. This class, that class, that class, that class, that class, that class. So we want to find the average for each class, and that is what I've put here as well, the mid class. So you can type equal to, yeah, and start typing average, because we want to use the average here to make it simpler for, and double click on the average and select these two, the upper class boundary and the lower class boundary, and just close your bracket and press the enter key on your laptop. It gives you the mid class or the midpoint. Now come back and select this one. Select whatever you've got there. If you are behind, please let me know. Yeah, anybody who is behind. Is everybody on the same page as mine? Have you all got it? Is everybody on the same page? Okay. So now I've selected this one back, and I want to copy it down so that the formula will affect everyone here. And I've done the copying down, and I've got my mid class here. I think I separated this so much. You can see my screen here. I've got that gap here, which I don't really want. In case you have that gap left there, you can right click at the top here like that and click delete to delete that gap. Just right click at the top there and delete that gap. So I'm going to delete this gap here so that I can get it this way here. Now we are going to look for the average, and the formula is right here. Let me just, the formula is that we have to sum up, we have to find, you know, what I've done here. We have to look for, we have to sum up all the data here, but remember that here it's group frequency, it's grouped data. So what we have to do is that we have to multiply each data by the number of times they occur. And for that matter, we're going to use the midpoint or the average of the two to multiply by the frequency, so that in the end we will sum everything up, and then we can get a total of what the data. And to get it, what is it called, the midpoint, we will divide the frequency by the total of all the midpoints here. And so that is what we're going to do. So what we are going to do here is, please, let's put here, let's type fx here. Let's add another heading, fx. And what I mean by fx is that it means that I want to find the sum, the total of what? For example, this mid class here, this midpoint or mid class, how many times does this mid class occur? Who can tell me how many times did 20.7 occur? How many times? How many times has 20.7 occurred in this data? Yes, 3. So if we want to find a total of what? 20.7, what do? We add 20.7 plus 20.7 plus 20.7. But the other way around is what? 20.7 times the number of times it has what? Occurred. Which means that it's going to be 20.7 times what? 3. So we use the Excel and we say equal to. Then I will say this, you can use product as well, times what? Its frequency, that is the number of times it has what? Occurred. And once you get that, press enter. We can also see that 21.2 occurred how many times here? 10. So its total, it will be 21.2. You add the same until what? 10. So what can we do? What we would like to do is that instead of doing that addition, 21.2 plus 21.2 all the way to 10, we say equal to 21.2 times that. But I'm going to, we say 21.2 times what? This one here. and then I'll press enter. But I don't want to use that one. I want to copy the formula down. Do you see what I mean? I would rather prefer to copy the formula down. I would prefer to copy this formula down. So I come in here and click this, and then I'll just drag it down. Either I drag it down, okay, or when I put it down here and the cursor goes this dark black cross, I will just double click at the edge there, and it will fill it for me. Either I drag it down or I double click there. So I've got all the sum there. I've got everything here. I've got everything here. Now, we want to find the mean, okay? So how do we find the mean? Now, let's put some heading here and say total here. Just type type this total here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this one and make all of them bold. I just want to make them bold to make the difference between the data set we've got there. And you know, once I've put total here and I've placed my cursor here, I think you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to find the total of all of them here. Do you see what I mean? So I'm going to use the what is it called, the sum. So you say equal to, and you say sum, and select, double click on the sum, okay, and select everything from here and press your enter key there. Now we want to do the same. We want to get the same total here. Okay, we want to get the total here, but I don't want to rewrite the same formula again. Okay, I don't want to write the formula again. I want to find the total here. I don't want to rewrite the formula again. So I'm going to copy the formula here. So once I step here and bring my cursor to this point and I drag it that way, I copy the formula. It does it for me. It does the summing for me for this one here. For everything here. So I've got the formula here. Now what else are we going to look for? Sorry, I've gone way beyond where I'm supposed to. And I think every one of you have got the same, what is it called? Every one of you have got the same, have you all got the, have we all got the same figures as I have here? Okay, let's do this. Let's say I want to put total frequency here so that you know what I'm trying to, and then I'll put maybe I just want to make it simple for you. To fx here, and then I will type mean here. Do you see what I mean? The mean is what, the average, isn't it? Okay, so what's the total frequency? What's the value for the total frequency we had? The total frequency, what's the value? Yeah, 48. So you can either write 48 there, or you can use Excel to copy it. You can say equal to, and then you click on that one and it gives that one to you. And then what's the total fx? The sum of the sum. The fx stands for the sum of what, the individual what classes. Then so I will use formula equal to, and then I will click on that one. Do you see what I mean? That gives me that. Now the mean is what? The mean, let's get back to the mean there. The mean here is what? The total of what? All the fx's. That's all the data points, sum all of them up. So divided by what? The total frequency. Do you see what I mean? So is there any question? Do any of you have any question? Any question? Okay, So now I will come here and say equal to, because this is what we want. This one, yeah, divided by, and you press the slash sign, divided by the total frequency. Do you see what I mean? And that will give us the mean. I'm going to correct mine to maybe 2 decimal places, which should be okay for me. Yeah, so that is what we have had now. Now let's see how we can also get can we look for the cumulative frequency? I want to create a space here. So what I've done is I've come here, my pointer is pointing down, as you can see. I'll right click and say insert, and I've inserted this one. I want to add cumulative frequency. So I'll just type cum, or just that one, and then I'll use this symbol FM for it. If I want to make a space, if I bring my cursor here like that, it changes to this, and I'll double click there to make that one, to increase the width. Okay, so the cumulative frequency is the sum of all the frequencies. So for example, what I can do is that, let me see if I want to do it this way, or which other way I want to do it. Just give me a minute. I want to use this cumulative frequency for something else. Okay, let's go. So let's type equal to. So the first one will be, you can add 0 to whatever, to this one, but the first one is this one. That's what we have here. Yeah, and press enter. Now the second one is equal to this one that we have here. Yeah, the second one is equal to this one that we have here, plus that one. And then we say, you press enter. The next one here is going to be this, the 13 plus 11, but I'm going to use, now I've written the formula. If I copy it down, Excel will know it, yeah? So instead of me just saying this equal to this plus that, I'm going to step back here and just copy the formula down like that. Excel will do it for me. And you see, it sums up, the cumulative just sums up succeeding what frequencies. And that is that one here. That is the one here. So you see the cumulative frequency, if you add it, it should be equal to the total frequency here. Okay, I'm copying that, no problem. Okay guys, so you see that one there and that one here, you see they have the same what values. Okay, now we've got the cumulative frequency. We can now go ahead and draw what is it called? We can draw or we can construct our, what is it? First of all, if you want to construct frequency, what is it called? Frequency polygon. What you can do is that if we want to construct the frequency polygon, then last time what I said was we have to make a way, because with the frequency polygon, if we select, let's say we select the midpoint, select that one, I'm going to show you something here, and select this frequency. So if we select both here and go to insert, where is insert? Sorry, insert and recommended chart here. See, this is what I will pick. But if I pick this one, you see the graph is hanging. It doesn't touch. Do you see what I mean? So what we want to do here is that, sorry, I was going to delete, which is wrong. I'm not going to construct such a frequency polygon. Do you see what I mean? So what I would like us to do is that we can make a way here. You can make a way here. Just bring your cursor like that. Bring your cursor this way and insert something there. Do you see what I mean? Don't worry about the spaces here, don't worry. You can later on probably manage to put something there. So what I'm going to do is that, what is the class width? What's the difference? Is it 0.4, isn't it? The class width is 0.4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 0.4 from 20.7. And what would I get? I'm going to get 20. Is it 20.3, isn't it? And that 20.3 has no place in this class set here because it starts from 20.5. So that this data point of what? 20.3 has no data, has no frequency. So the frequency will be what? 0. Do you see what I mean? The frequency will be 0. And here we can put 0 times what? Under the fx, we will have 0 there, but I'm not even going to bother so much about the fx there. What I will bother is here this sign has come up here because I've added something here. So I can change my sum and probably come here and make it E2. And then it takes care of it. Over here, I can put cumulative frequency of what? 0 here. So that if I want to draw my, what is it called? If I want to draw my frequency polygon, it's going to be easy for me. Do you see what I mean? It's going to be easy for me. And now I can select the mid class and the frequencies, and I'll go to insert and just recommended chart. And oh, sorry, there is something we needed to do. One more moment. Just bear with me. Let me create a space here. Just create a space here. We need to put with the frequency polygon. We need to make sure that at least we also have a value at the end, because we want to have a closed what? Polygon touching the x-axis. So I'm going to add 0.4 to 23.2. That is going to give me 23.6. It's going to give me 23.6. And that has no value within this class width here, or within this class. So I'm going to put 0 here. Now we are good to go with our frequency polygon. So if you select whatever you want to select that way here, then you can go to the recommended chart and you get it nicely. You get this one. I'm going to select that one. If I'm running too fast, please let me know. So we got this one here. And once you get this, you can also add some bits and pieces to your graph. You can add, I think the vertical is what? Frequency, and so the vertical is frequency. So frequency F, and the horizontal is what? The mid class. And you can change this one to frequency versus what? Mid class. Or you can just name it frequency oh my god, why did I? You can name it frequency polygon, which is fine. So we got this one. We got this graph done. So we've got this graph done. Now, the next one that we want to draw is the ogive, curve. That one we use the cumulative frequency and the mid class. Yeah. Is anyone behind? Andy, are you behind? Okay, so with this one, we got the next one that we want to construct is the ogive. Okay, so what we want to do is we select the mid class here. Please ignore, don't what is it called? Don't select the last one. Yeah, don't select this last figure here. Don't select this. Because we don't want it to go close. So we select this, and then press your control key there. Okay, press the control key, and then come and select that one here. And then again, go to insert. Sorry, so select that. After there, your control key, and come here and select that one. Yeah. And then go to insert, and maybe we can try this, or we can go to recommended chart and see if we've got anything better there. I think recommended chart is okay. But if you don't really like that one, you can go to all charts here, and then which one is that one here? What's the name? The scatter graph. So you can use which one you want, and you are going to get something like that. You are going to get something like that. And then once we get something like this, we can also get a median from this graph. And what's the median? Do you remember what a median is? Do you remember what a median is? Who remember what median is? When we talk about the central tendencies, we remember what median is. Yes, the central number, the middle number, or the middle value there. So so this middle value, if we can use that one, how many data points do we have here? Check the frequency. How many? How many data points do we have? If we check your frequency, how many do we have there? 48. So middle of if we divide 48 by 2, the median divides this by 2. Do you see what I mean? Yes. So what we can do is that we can use half of this graph here. That's 24. If we divide 48 by 2, we get 24. So what we can do is that let me get this one. How many divisions do we have here? Let me see. I want to see if I can make any. I don't want this double graph. Let me come here. Okay, so I have this one here. I have this here. 24 will be somewhere here, midpoint here, isn't it? because this is from here to there is 30. So 24, oh okay, it's here. 24 is here. So what I can do is I'll go to insert and then I'll pull out this here, and my 24 is here, so I will take it all the way to where it meets this graph or this curve here. So I've taken it to all where it meets the curve here, and then I'll pick another one before that. I think, let me see. Okay, and then so it's like um, 21.7, yeah? Okay, thank you. And what's the mean that we had there? The mean from the calculation. Okay, and here we've had 21.7, isn't it? So it's not too bad, is it? And that's how we can find, so this is how we can find the median using, using what is it called? Graph. Yeah, okay, good. Now we would also see how we can find the mode using um, graphical method. Now, oh no, what did I do? Is anyone here having any problem with this one so far? Okay, okay. Now we've found that one. The next thing that I want us to find is, I want us to do is, I want us to draw, what is it called? I want us to draw a histogram. Do you see what I mean? I want us to draw a histogram. So with the histogram, I'm not going to consider this data here, the zeros. Yeah. I'm going to consider the mid class, the actual mid class we had there, the actual mid classes we had. So this one, that's what I'm going to consider. And before that, what's the mode? How do we find the mode of value? If you read the notes, how do we the mode of what's mode? Do you remember what the mode is? We know median, we know the mean. So what's mode? Excellent. So where is the model class? Look at the classes here. The classes here. Which of them, according to the frequency here, which of them is the model class? Yeah. Okay, cool. 22 to 22.4 is the model class. So you can just note it down that this one is what the model class. Do you see what I mean? In this data set. In this data set, this is the model class. Okay, cool. Now let's go on to the next, what we were going to do. I think we said we were going to find the mode, but before we find the mode, well, let's find the mode. I will come back to the mean again. I'll come back to the mean. I don't know if I've mixed things up. We will come back to the mean and use some calculations to find the mean and so on. But now let's look at the mode. So I'm going to select this one here. For the frequency, what is it called? not polygon, the histogram. So I've selected this one here, then here. I didn't consider this, neither did I consider that. And then let's go on to insert and recommended chart. So I'm selecting that one, and I would say I should have even taken it to a different, let me see if I could just take it to, let me see if it's going to give me option to take it to. Anyway, no problem. Now let's select, right click on one of the bars here, right click on the one of the bars, and or you can even select you can select it from here. No. Format chart is there? Okay, select the format chart there, so that we can close the gap with here. Close the gap with, and come to the filling here, and select color. We want to change the color. Maybe I'll select, oh, did I, that's not what I mean, I'm sorry guys. Let me see, border, go click on the border one. I want to change this color, the border of the colors here. You can pick any of them. So what I wanted is the border. So I've clicked the border and I've changed this one. I can now close this one. And let's see where the which one did this occur. I think the mode of frequency occurred in this one, isn't it? Sorry, the mode occurred here, isn't it? Yeah, so it occurred in that one. So let's come here. So what we want to do is this one. We know it occurred in this 22.2, isn't it? But we don't really know where actually it is. So what we want to do is that we want to draw a line from here to there, yeah, and then a line from here to there. So just look at what I'm, if I do, you get what I'm trying to. So from this, I may not really get it, but I'll try from this corner to that corner. Let me use different, did I get it right? Somehow, but I think it's now a bit somehow okay, guys, is it? Not really, but like that, maybe. Yeah, I think that one needs to come this way. Okay. And then another one from here to there. And the two would definitely cross each other. Do you see what I mean? So where they cross each other, try to draw a line all the way down. And that line, where it meets this one, should probably give us the what is it called? The mode. Yeah. Okay. Now let's try and see if we can, make some changes to this graph here. Select the graph. And let's see if we can. No, that's okay, fine, it's okay. I will come to here and I'll put some grid lines in there and see if it's going to. Okay, but we can do some calculations actually and see roughly. It's not really going to. It's not really. But what's the difference between this and the? I think from one center to the other is how many? Not 0.4, isn't it? Yeah. So this is not really up to the center. It's not really up to the center. So probably about 0.3 or so added to this somehow will give us something that we want. So that gives us what the mode, the mode of what is it called? Now the next, and what we get for the mean? What's the value? 9 point. Yeah, and this will give us maybe 20, maybe up to 30 or so. This is what I mean. Yeah, if we critically look at it. So that is that one. Now maybe we can. So we've got this one here. Now, if we come back to, maybe how we have to calculate the mean. There is a way to calculate the mean, and I'm going to give you the formula, and then we will come back to this one here, so that we will just finish this and look at something else. So looking at it here, looking at the data here, we know that the median class, the median divides the data into what? Two halves. This is what I mean. So if we want to find the median from this data here, there are two ways to do it. What's the total of this one here? 48, isn't it? It's 48. Total of the data points collected here is 48. Now, if all the data is 48, meaning that the middle data will be 24 and what? 25. Are you trying to, because we have 1 up to what? The data points we have, or the data set we've collected here is 1 up to 48. So the middle two data points here will be 24 and 25. Okay, and actually if we wanted to get the median, then it should have been maybe dividing the two together. But it's 24 and 25 are the most two middle data points there. So we can either use this one, we can say that data will be somewhere either within this here. If it's 24, then it will be here. But if we consider maybe 25, then it's going to be somewhere within this one here. Do you see what I mean? It's going to be somewhere here. So, but let's do some calculation here and see. 10 plus, we want to sum up until we get 25, 26. So 10 plus 11 is what? So 3 plus 10 is, please watch here. This is the way I'm doing it. I can use this cumulative frequency here to find where the class of what? The, oh, sorry. I can use the cumulative frequency here to find approximately the median class. Half of it is what? 24. Another way to use it, which could give us maybe a precise one, is we will start adding the frequencies here. 3 plus 10 is what? Plus 11 24. So here 24, we can say 24 is rather in this one, but you see it's what, 24 and 25, so probably 25 would be inside here. But if we decide that fine, because we know the median divides what, it divides the it divides the frequency into what, two halves, we can also settle for that one here. We can settle for this one as the median class. 24, half of it lies between what, 21.5 to what, 22.5. So we can accept this one as being what, the median class. Do you see what I mean? We can accept this one, 21.5 to 21.9 as the median class. And then what we would do is that there are two ways to find there are two ways to find did I clean it? There are two ways to find the lower limit of the median class. The lower limit of the median class. What we would do is that we would add this one, the upper limit of the class before the median class, to this lower limit here, that's 21. So we will add 21.4 to 21.5, yeah, and find the mean of the two. Or it doesn't really, to me, it doesn't make any difference. So what we can do is that we can choose this one. Some people that do it this way, they choose this, okay, add it to that one here, and find the mean. We can use that one as the L there, the L I gave you, that's the lower limit of what the median class. But here what we would do is, let's just choose this one. So let's choose 25. Can I write that one down? So L is equal to 21.5. L is equal to 21.5. And then the next one is N. So the sum of the next one is this one. Let me just, can I take, so now you've written down 21.5 as L, isn't it? Yeah, so let's just use that one and see what we will get. So we have our L as being equal to 21.5. And then what we need is, the next thing that we need is what? The sum of the frequencies. How many frequencies do we have? So we need this one. The sum of the frequencies divided by what? 2. And that is 48 divided by 2. How much? Is it 24? That's 24. And then what else do we need? What else do we need, guys? Please just look there. And the cumulative frequency. So the cumulative frequency of what? The class, the CF, that is represent the cumulative frequency of the class before the median class. So what's the class before the median class? This is the median class. And what's the class before it? And what's the cumulative frequency here? Can you see it's 13? Can you see that's 13? Yeah. So the CF is this, that is the cumulative frequency of the class before the median class. And then the F, the frequency of the median class. Frequency of the, what's the frequency of the median class? This is the frequency of the median class. The frequency of the median class is 11. And what else do we need? What's the class width? What's the class width? Who knows the class width? Yes, 0.4. Not 0.4, thank you. So now that we've got all this information, we can come here and write down our median. And that's going to be equal to 21.5 plus 24 minus 13 divided by 11 times what? 0.4. So what are we getting? Guys, who's done the calculation for us? Has anyone done the calculation for us? 21.9. So 21.9. Thank you very much. So you see, we are almost within the same range, isn't it? From what we did graphically and what we have done using calculation, we are just, just the same. And then the last thing that I would like to give you is also to use formula to calculate the mode, okay, and that will be it for us, and then we can have our tea break. So, okay, guys, so what's the modal class here in this data? If you look at the frequency here, if you look at, where's the frequency? Yeah, if you look at the frequency and you look at the class, which of the classes here is the modal class? Okay, so this is the modal class. Okay, cool. So now you want to use the formula for calculating the mode. Yeah, we want to use the formula for calculating. Did you get any? Okay, okay. All right. So if we use the formula, what's the load? Let's use this one. I'm not going to add this. I'm not going to add this to that. Sorry. To that and find the average. Just use that one. Just use this as the lower limit of the modal class. So write it down, please, so that when I come to the board, I'll pick the values from you. Yeah. Just write that one down. So L there is what? 22.0, isn't it? Okay. Now, F1 is frequency of the modal class. Here we're using F1 as frequency of the modal class. So what's the frequency of the modal class here? Please, can I write it down? Can I write F1 13 there, please? And F0 is frequency of the class before the modal one. That's what. So F0 is 11. Please write it down. F2 is 9, isn't it? F2 is 9. F2 is 9 because that's the frequency after the modal class. So the frequency after the modal class is 9. And H there is the class width. The H is class width. Yeah. Did I put the H behind it in the formula? Please, the formula should have H. I'm sorry if I missed that one. Then, if I miss it, please put your H here, please. Put your H here, and your H, as usual, is what? Class width. Your H there, as usual, is class width. Sorry, I missed that one. So now that you've got that, let's do the calculation quickly and see. Let's see what we will have for the model value there and compare with the graphical ones that we had. So from the calculations, we had the mode as what, 22.13. And let's see the graph. Actually, this is what we had. We had something close to what, 22, isn't it? I think like, if maybe here we had like 0.3 plus, I had like 22. 0.3 plus 21.7 will give us like 22. So 22, which is not what, but too far from what we have done from the calculation. So this is how we can, use both the graphical method and the calculation or the analysis method to get the median, the mode, and then also the mean. So we've done all that, and I'm just saving it, and it will come to you right after that.